to the Tool Station Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. It's the FA Vase fifth round on Saturday and two of our clubs are still in the competition, Emley and Hallam. Let's have a look at Emley first. Their journey to the fifth round. First qualifying round they won 3-0 at home to Sandbach United. In the second round they won 3-1 at Brigg Town. The first round proper home win against Gisborough Town 2-1. In the second round, a 1-0 home win against Heaton Stannington. In the third round, another home tie, 4-0 win against West Disbury and Walton. And in the fourth round, home against Channock Richard of the North West Counties League, and Emley came away with a 3-0 win. In the fifth round, they're set to play Wycombe. Wycombe play in the Northern League. They were FA Vase winners in 1981 when they built Willenhall 3-2 in the final. Wycombe came down from 2-0 in that game to win it in extra time. Looking at Wycombe's progress to the fifth round, first qualifying round they beat Campion, who of course are joint top of the NCEL with Emley. They beat them 6-0. Second qualifying round, Wycombe beat Birtley Town at home 4-2. First round proper went to Ashton Town and won 4-2. Then in the second round, Wycombe entertained Bury AFC at home, beat them 1-0. In the third round, Wycombe were beaten at home by Earlham, but then were reinstated after Earlham played two unregistered players. In the fourth round, Wycombe were held 0-0 by Blythe Town but won 4-2 on penalties. Wycombe currently lie 13th in the Northern League, played 19, won 8, drawn 2, lost 9, points 26. And the last 5 matches, 3-2 win at Tow Law, 5-3 defeat at home to Shildon, 3-0 win at home to Newcastle Benfield, a 3-1 defeat at home to Bishop Auckland, and a 1-0 win at Sunderland RCA. Moving on to Hallam, their journey to the fifth round. Second qualifying round, they drew 1-1 at Lower Beck and then won 4-1 on penalties. All the goals were late in this game. Lower Beck went in front in the 89th minute and Hallam equalised in the 90th. Then in the first round proper, home against Coventry United, 5-1 win. Second round, home against Atherstone Town, 3-2 win for Hallam in that one. Third round at Ramsbottom United, Hallam won 1-0. And then the all NCEL tie in the fourth round, it was Hallam against Silsden, and Hallam run out winners 3-1 at home. In the fifth round, Hallam take on Lincoln United of the United Counties League. Lincoln's best performance in the Vase was quarter-finals in 1974-75, and their progress to the fifth round. In the first round, they played Bugbrook St Michael's at home and won 4-1. Then in the second round, also at home, 6-0 win against Heenor Town. In the third round, at home to Congleton Town, 2-1 win. In the fourth round, away at South Liverpool, it finished 1-1 and Lincoln won 5-3 on penalties. Looking at the league form, Lincoln currently in second place in the United Counties League. Played 23, won 19, drawn none, lost 4, points 57. And their last 5 matches, 6-0 home win at home to against AFC Mansfield, 1-0 defeat at home to Sleaford Town, 2-0 defeat at home to Sherwood Colliery, who were the current leaders of the league, 2-1 win at AFC Mansfield, and a 5-1 win at Wees Beach Town. So a couple of tricky sides for both sides, but being at home, these are definitely winnable times. And let's hope on Monday we're looking for 2 Northern Counties East League teams in the 6th round draw. Volunteers are essential to all clubs at this level, and on the podcast we hope to feature a number of volunteers in future episodes. If you're a volunteer who would like to come onto the podcast and talk about what you do in your club, then email NCEL Podcast at gmail.com. Over to Phil Withers, who's looking at an NCEL season from years gone by.
Hello. We continue our review of the history of the Northern Counties East League by looking at the NCEL 7th season, 1988-89. The league continued with the three divisions from the previous season, that's Premier, 1 and 2. The Premier Division consisted of the same 17 clubs from the previous season. Emily retained the Premier Division title, 8 points clear of runners-up Hatfield Main. Ironically, Hatfield were the only team to beat Emily in the league, doing so twice. Emily's reward for taking the title was promotion to the Northern Premier League. Ossett Albion, for the second season running, finished bottom. Division 1 was comprised of the 14 teams from the previous season's Division 1, plus Collingham and Pickering Town, who were promoted from Division 2. The division was won by Sheffield, who were 8 points ahead of runners-up Rowntree Mackintosh, also the previous season's running up. Sheffield's title win saw them promoted to the Premier Division. Division 2 featured 12 of the previous season's clubs, plus Stronfield United, who had been relegated from Division 1 at the end of the previous season. Brodsworth were newcomers. Ossett Town took the title, 8 points clear of runners-up Liversedge. Fryston finished bottom. The League Cup, for once, was an all-Premier Division affair, with Bridlington Town beating Emley 3-1 at Pontefract Collieries. The Premier Division top scorer was Ian Noteman of Guiseley with 20 goals. In Division 1, I.C. Hutchinson of Maltby Miners Welfare led the way with 25, whilst P. Collier of Selby topped the Division 2, also with 21 goals. In the various national and local cups, North Ferriby United reached the semi-final of the FA Vase, losing to Tamworth after winning the first leg at Tamworth. Bridlington Town and Emley reached the third qualifying round of the FA Cup. Bridlington won the East Riding County Cup, Emley the Sheffield Senior Cup, and Pontefract Collieries won the NCE Floodlit competition.
Next up, NCEL Talk. I'll hand straight over to host Aaron Walton.
Evening, gentlemen. So I'm joined by Bob and Si. Evening, boys.
Evening, Aaron. Evening, Si.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening. Right. What I'm going to do, we'll do the usual thing, and then we're going to look at the games hopefully on Saturday and the cup games. But if we have a look at the Prem first, because I know, Si, you've got a good game to talk about midweek. So let's have a look at the Prem first and look at the battle for promotion. So Emily beat Frickley, didn't they, 4-1 to maintain top spot. Jerome Walker and Walshaw getting a couple. A decent crowd there, gentlemen. 381 at Emily, so it just shows if you're winning, the people get behind you.
Yeah, they're well supported.
They are, aren't they, Bob? And then Campion showed they've not thrown the towel in with a superb 3-2 away win at Hallam.
Yeah, that's a great win.
It is. Well, Nathan Cartman on the score sheet for his new club against his previous club, all in one season as well. So, 412 at that game. So, another really good supported game there for Hallam. Thackley came unstuck against Penistone. They got a bit of a shellacking, didn't they, at the Memorial Ground 5-1. Again, Nathan Keatley hat-trick helped the church. He's always there scoring goals, is Nathan. Never far off the score sheet. And Rossington got a decent win on the road on the 4G at Handsworth. 2-1 to maintain their playoff push. So they're all looking good, aren't they? Albion, they got a real good result against a very dogged Nesborough, 2-0. Flynn and Fox on the score sheet for the Lions. What a strike partnership that is, Ash Flynn and young Mr. Robbie Fox. So, and then we get on to the game I was at. Well, I wasn't looking forward to it, but Garforth came unstuck at Barton. So, Garforth went ahead with a Charlie Marshall penalty. after the Swans keeper flattened poor little Sam Barker in the area. Then on 39 minutes, that's when I think the game changed. Rainer Ajupi was shown a red card for handling on the line. Now, I've seen the footage. I've seen Garforth's footage, and I don't know. It looked like it hit his, I don't know, shoulder, arm, but he definitely stopped it from going in. So red card, and Tom Wardby levels it up at 1-1. Lots of pressure in second half from the Swans. A couple of superb saves from Harry Flatters in the minors' goal. Kept the teams level, but Harrison Coley scrambled one in from across to make it 2-1. So I think Garforth, they came a little bit under strength because I think they only had 3 subs due to injury and illnesses. So we'll take the win, though. We'll take the win. It was a good game for the Swans to win. Golka beat Silsden with a late show of 3-2. Now, Bob, we'll come into you now. I think it's your time to puff your chest out. So, goal at Bottisford.
Yeah, it was a great win. I mean, it's really a new look Gould team, really, compared to say 5-6 weeks ago. Yeah. And we started off well. I mean, we scored. Curtis Dance got our first one, a new signing. Within 2 minutes, Bottisford equalised. But then about 10 minutes later, Bruce Geisen, another signing from Eckershill, Bruce. Bryce. I always keep calling him Bruce. It's Bryce.
It's Bryce Gilson. Yeah, a good player.
A good player. Yeah, that's a good signing. He got the second, put us 2-1 up. And then, as it always happens to go, we conceded just before the half-time whistle, and they scored probably the last minute, up to restart, and he blew the whistle. So it was 2-2.
Yeah.
But then a bit like your Barton game, really. Their keeper, the Bottisford keeper, he clapped Reggie Ward. He came out and clapped him in the penalty area, and the referee awarded the penalty for us, which Reggie converted to make it 3-2. And then another new signing, Brad Kerr, who came on as substitute from the right. He crossed a great ball into the penalty area, and Reggie was there to slide it in again. Reggie Ward for his second goal to make it 4-2. Yeah, and then Brad, he probably scored the best goal of the match, really. He took it from the right hand side, then coming in from the left, and from just outside the penalty area, he let go of a thunderbolt, really, and give keeper no chance. 5-2.
5-2. So happy days, yeah, and it made it a little bit sweeter. Maltby lost 1-0 to Pickering, didn't they?
Yeah, because we keep looking at the scores there. You know.
Yeah.
The teams around us.
So that was a real good win for you guys on Saturday.
I just want to say on the Bottisford, because you mentioned this last week, Eric, because it's the first time I've been back since they had the ground improvements. And it's a really nice little ground, really tidy, nice ground now.
Nice, isn't it? Yeah.
All the Gould supporters were very impressed by it. And the food was good. And the food was good. The offer.
Yeah, in the shack, yeah. It is nice. They call it the shack. I'm not having a go. They call it the food shack. It really is nice, isn't it? Good value for money.
Good value for money, definitely.
And the ladies who run that food shack are very nice ladies as well. Real friendly, aren't they? Yeah. So that was that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop on to Saturday's Division 1 games, and then we're going to go into the midweek games. So I'm going to bring Si in now for your Division 1. Wakefield, solid at Glassy with a 2-0, Glass out with a 2-0 victory. What's your thoughts on that one then, Si?
It was. I think that's it. Kind of was a nothing match. It was a solid game. The Glass out and they're a team of battlers. They're organised battlers. Pitch wasn't as bad as kind of thought it would be, given the weather and stuff. It was all right. And I quite like their ground because they've got some young fans there that make quite a lot of noise at either end of the pitch, whichever end they're attacking and what have you. In good, there's a little drum there and stuff, so it's a nice ground to go to. Good game. It was nice. Mason Ruby, who got the goal there, he played his 100th game for us. Yes. So he's the first player to reach that landmark. So it was nice that we've got a player on that number now. Let's match that occasion with a goal. And then young Ben Gelder getting on the score sheet as well.
Oh, Mr. Gelder again. They can't stop him, can you?
I know,
Bob. He does, doesn't he? Good player. Now, I hope Mason Ruby got a shirt with 100 on, Si.
Yes, he had one of those on Tuesday. You've seen it
Good.
online, then, have you?
I
Yeah,
have, yes. I hope he
yeah.
gets it framed. Well done, sir. Well done. So,
Just go back to that game. I see that the crowd was 269. Must have
yes,
been a lot there from Wakefield, because I think the highest before that was 159. So there must have been a lot from Wakefield there.
It was the highest Glasshoughton league attendance since 2013, I think it was, because
Really?
like I did with the Yorkshire Amateur when we played there, if we get a big number, I like to look back and see when they last had a number like that. Glasshoughton I think they had an FA Cup tie, which had about the same sort of number a few years ago, but they haven't had that for a league game since 2013, according to the NCL website. So. Yeah, I was actually sad enough. I was sad enough to go back all through the years and check.
I bet the Glasshoughton committee were rubbing their hands.
Exactly. Well, that's what I like about it, because it helps the clubs as well, doesn't it? So it's not just about ourselves. It's we're helping other clubs by having a good away support.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like that.
Revenue is important at this level, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it really is. It really is. We get and to spread the word as well, because I think a lot of people sort of not disrespect semi-pro football, but I don't think that they're quick to criticise. But if they get themselves down there, I know it's sometimes cold and people are cosseted and they like to sit down, don't they? But get themselves down there, they'll see how good a product it is. It really. I know you get the odd rubbishy game, but God, you get a rubbish game in the Premiership, don't you? You're paying a second mortgage to go watch that.
Absolutely, but for me, you feel more a part of it as well at this level. It's you're just one of hundreds, thousands, millions, depending on which club you follow.
Yeah,
in the Premier League and stuff. But at this level, you're a part of the club. If you're at the away support, the players know you. Do you know what I mean?
They do.
They appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes, they do. Yeah, that's a big attraction for a lot of us, I think, as well, because to feel part of it, really. But I tell you what, let's go back onto Div 1 then. Parkgate weren't playing. So could Beverley Town close the gap? Well, on paper, they had a trick to the teams in Beverley's favour. 292 there as well to watch that game. So the good people of Brig, and I know Beverley bring a few, they got behind them. So that was a good win for Beverley. Matt Plummer on the sheet as well, goal sheet. He comes up with some important goals now and again, does Matt. So a footnote on that one, gentlemen. There was 11 ex-Barton Town players on show for that game.
Was there really?
It was, yeah. 12 if Josh Batty wouldn't have been suspended. So, yeah, I might have missed a few as well. So, but Shirebrook beat Womble, or Wombwell, as we like to call them, 2-1 in a tight one.
That was a big
Kieran Watson goal,
wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, it was a late show, wasn't it, with a Kieran Watson goal settling for the Brook. So that was a good game. Horbury beat Armthorpe 3-1, keeping up, as you say, their outside chance side of a playoff spot. And Dromfield beat Retford 1-0 late on. So there were some good ties there, some good games there. So it's all looking quite good at the top. Staveley put Athersley to the sword 5-1 at Shearing Park. Louth through with Swallowness 1-1. I think Louth will be a bit disappointed with that. And Selby put 6 past Yorkshire Amateurs. Ollerton couldn't keep a strong Nostell team out, losing 4-0 at home. So that sort of covers Div 1. Let's have a look at the midweek games. Si, I'm going to start with you first, because what a game with you and Beverley, Wakefield and Beverley.
3-3 draw. It's a game that had a little bit of everything in that one. It was definitely one for the neutrals. And I think, to be fair, we scored with an injury time equaliser to tie it up. I think Beverley might have gone away a little bit disappointed. They didn't get all 3 points from that one.
Really?
But a Slater Barnes hat-trick. So the lad's come in and he's got 6 goals in 4 games for us now with that. So he's
class. He's class.
He's made an instant impact with the fans as well. He's
a nice lad. Yeah,
he's got a good character and connects with the fans, and we like his work rate and things like that. So he's got a lot that stands out.
Where did
But
he,
yeah,
where
he had a really good game.
Where did Slater come from? Where did he sign him from?
Golka.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a few have left from Golka, haven't they? They moved on, and he's a good signing for you. Real good signing is to give him his full title, Slater Bark and Barnes. Real good player. So
I think really it's a game that the three didn't help either of us though. Having a draw,
no,
I think with the way the division is at the moment, especially with the amount of games that Parkgate have got in hand. I mean, look at 6 games on us now, aren't they? They're going to be playing a lot of matches coming up soon, but. I think 3 points would have been better for either team there. A point doesn't really help either. But it was a good night of football.
You may be looking at Parkgate playing 3 games a week if you're not careful.
That's what some people have said. The Beverley fans were saying that at we were talking to them after the game, and they were saying, they could be playing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That has happened before.
Because they've got cup game. They're still in one of the cups out there. Parkgate, aren't they in the Sheffield Hallamshire or something like that? Not the County Cup.
Yeah, the County Cup. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Beverley fans as well. I want to just give a mention to the Beverley fans, the away fans. I love their away support. They always come in numbers and they have good banter with it. There's not sort of any nastiness with chants, and both sets of fans that were on the same side were having chants back and forth at different points of the game, but in good humour and not actually taking it personal or getting nasty. Quality away support they've got. I do like them.
Yeah. I think they're a slightly more mature set of fans, aren't they? I know there's some young lads there, but they're slightly more mature, and they can respond to a little bit of leg pulling, can't they?
Exactly, without taking it personally, then putting it back. Yeah, exactly. Yes, the young fans might take. Yeah, I know what you mean exactly.
Yeah, so they do take it. So that was a really good 3-3 draw. 315 there for a midweek game, Si. What a great crowd.
Yeah, nice number there for that one. And again, obviously, they brought a few fans for that one. But yeah, our fans do like the home games under the floodlights, especially, the midweek ones. They bring a good number in.
You can't beat a game under the lights.
They're always entertaining as well as the games. For some reason, it just brings out the best in football for me.
Doesn't it, Just? It's everything you want from a football game, under the lights, everything, yeah. So if we have a look at other games, Womble beat Selby 1-0, so they're still up there, aren't they? Dronfield and Horby drew 1-1, and Brigg got a good result, away win at Nostell 1-0. So well done, Brigg. So Wakey top, Beverley third, and you've got a Parkgate sandwich, haven't you?
Well,
Parkgate are in the middle.
4 points covering the top 5 teams. I know there's games in hand in that as well. But as it sits at the moment, 4 points covering 5 teams shows how close this division is. It's going to go down to the wire.
Incredible.
And looking at that, whoever finishes in 6th, you kind of got to feel bad for it. Someone's going to miss out on the playoffs at this rate. And I think all those teams have kind of earned a place at the moment.
Exactly, yeah. So it's looking really good. It's looking really good in that league, and it's looking good for the playoffs, and it's exciting. So let's go, Bob. I don't really want to come to you again, but I'm going to have to.
Emily, I've got a good defence here of the goal. I mean, half time it was 1-0 to Emily, and
what went wrong?
Well, I'll tell you what went wrong. In the first minute of the second half, the referee sent our centre half off, Andrew Head. I thought he'd got the ball, but the referee classed it as a dangerous tackle, and he gave him a straight red.
Oh, wait.
And it really sparked the game when you're man down, especially when it's your centre half when you're away. And obviously then we had to make a substitution and change things around. It ruined the game really. And then, but to be honest, we played, even though it sounds a bit foolish, but even though we lost 5-0, we played well. We gave Emily a good game up to that stage, and in the second half we hit the bar. Their keeper had to make some good saves to keep us out. And even with 10 men, but when you get a sending off like that, it does spoil the game. But I understand the club's going to appeal, so we'll see appeal the record. But we'll see what the outcome is.
I mean, the game's gone, hasn't it? Like you say, it's obviously spoiled the game, really.
Yeah, because it was a good game. First half, we was good as we were giving them a good test, Emily. You know.
Yeah.
On the home pitch, and that was a shame, really.
So that's what happened then. So, but you still putting a performance in, like you say, and obviously the going a man down that didn't help. So, but
even the supporters there did say we were saying that Gould played well. So if the supporters saying we were playing well, that they know because they see us week in week out.
Exactly, yeah. And if they're happy, that's the main thing. So if we go on to the other midweek games in the Prem, Garforth back to winning ways. They beat Eccleshill 3-1, and Tadcaster thumping Handsworth 5-1 with 5 different scorers for Mick O'Connell's men. I think if they keep Mick next season, I think Tadcaster are a team to watch next season because Mick is a good manager. So it's a rebuild for him there. So that's covered all the games over the period last week. So we've got to say good luck to the team still in the FA Trophy on Saturday. Hallam against Wickham from the North East, and Emily at home to a very tasty tie with Lincoln United. So they're 2 good tasty ties there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the other way around. Emily have got Wickham and Hallam have got Lincoln.
They have. Well done there, Ty. I'm wondering if you'd spot that mistake there. Said Captain Mannering to Sergeant Wilson.
I just thought before we get loads of letters coming in from listeners on points of view or something, I thought I'd just like.
Oh yeah. I often put them in just to see if you're awake. He says with a smile on his face.
Yeah. I was talking to the Emily officials on Tuesday night. Wickham are bringing 3 bus loads. Well, they'll never get 3 bus loads into that car park. It's a tight bend, isn't it?
It is a very tight bend. Yeah, you're struggling to get a mini through round there. Yeah,
they'll have to park them at the mast. Park them up at the mast at the car park there.
Yeah.
Walk down.
I'll tell you a funny tale about the mast. You're right next to Emily Moor, right? But they can't get a Wi-Fi signal up the ground. When people try to pay by card, you just couldn't get a signal. And the lady, they said doing all the food, she was waving a card reader all around. She couldn't get a reading. And she said, so I asked the question, why can't you get one? You're only half a mile from Emily Moor. Oh, the signal goes right over us.
There you go. Technology for you, gentlemen.
Yeah. So I had a TV like that in the 80s.
Yeah. So,
but they're expecting a good gate on.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Have we got any interesting games at the weekend? Possibly, depending on the foul weather we're enduring at the moment, but possibly one of the wettest winters I've endured in a long time. We've got Garforth play Pickering on Friday night. Tomorrow night, all being well. Then Saturday sees a great tie between 5th and 4th, respectively. Albion against Rossington, so that should be a good game if it's on. Well, it will be. It will be on because it's 4G. Yeah. So Eccleshill play Barton Town, but again, I don't know if that's going to be on because Bradford have had a lot of snow. Frickley against Penistone could be a tough one. Knaresborough play Bottisford, and an interesting one at Muglet Lane, Maltby versus Silsden. Yes. What do you reckon to that one, Bob?
Well, when you're near where we are, you look at the results for the team like Maltby and Eccleshill and go and how result. But if goes off, I might end up going to Maltby see if it's on to see how they do.
Yeah. Well, Silsden they've been dropping like a stone, haven't they, Silsden?
They have, yes. Yeah, so I hope they come on the comeback trail this week.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to play him Tuesday night, but it rained for 5 minutes. Now a game was off. So, Thackley play Handsworth, and Bob, your goals away at Golker all being well. That's going to be a tricky one if it's on.
If it's on, but according to I would imagine because it was off Tuesday night, their game was postponed. Wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. So,
with all this weather like today. I mean, it's going to, I think, be a bit of a miracle, really, if it's on. But it might be. We'll see.
Yeah, it might be, yeah. Division 1 standout game then, Si. It's Womble versus Parkgate, isn't it?
It is indeed. That's the one that I'm looking at as the tie of the weekend, definitely.
Yeah. Fifth place seconds, and you're hoping for a Womble win, aren't you?
6-pointer. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go for a draw. I think because the thing is, if they win, then they're one behind us.
Yeah.
Depending on if we play, obviously.
Yeah.
If it's a catch up game, depends if we play because obviously we're at Brig and see how that ground's going to be. But I think I'll take a draw in that one for 1-1.
Take a draw, right? Well, you've got, as I say, you've got Brig at the Hawthorns. If Brig play to the potential, you could have a decent game there. But it depends which Brig team turns up. I mean, on paper, I say it every week. On paper, they've got one of the best teams in the league, but we don't play on paper. And they've got a very partisan crowd there, very noisy, can get very boisterous, should we say, putting it mildly. So that could be a really good game if it's on. Beverley Town, they're at home to a gutsy Athersley. So again, it depends what Athersley team turn up. They'll either give them a real good game or they'll get an absolute shellacking, won't they? So you never know what Athersley turn up. Shirebrook got a tricky trip to Louth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tricky one all the way to Louth. A couple of games at the foot of the table. Yorkshire Amateurs play Claycross and Armthorpe play Selby. So that they could go either way, those. Depending on they are. So that sort of covered all the games. Now, to finish with, what we're going to talk about, what we'd like to talk about is a rule change. What rule change would you like to see in the game and why? Bob, I'm going to start with you.
Well, what rule change? It's a bit like, you see, on Saturday, Bosses, in the second half, we played 10 or 11 minutes of extra time, It's pity we can't do something like the rugby where somebody can stop the watch when the player stops. So we get an accurate, because it's all, I won't say guesswork, but at least players wouldn't be losing time. They'd get on with the game, wouldn't they? And
they would. Well, it's you really want like we're at Barton. We've got a big scoreboard. And they've got the clock on that, but then it goes to 45 minutes and it stops. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So
see at Barton, then what you could do there, if you could do it, if somebody goes down injured, you could stop your clock and the referee's whistle start it. That'd be
you could. Yeah, it's a good idea. The only emphasis is there's a lot of pressure on the person doing the stop clock, because if they get talking to the mate, they had to switch the clock back on, haven't they?
I hadn't thought of that, but
Well, that usually happens at our level. So that's your rule change, Bob.
I was just going to say on that one as well that Bob says there. I was going to say it also depends on who's doing it, like who's at the home team doing the stopwatch and whether you're winning or not, as to whether you want the extra minutes added on or not, isn't it?
I hope you're not suggesting foul play, Si.
It'd have to be somebody independent then, I think.
It would, yeah. Get poor old Matt Jones to do it when he feels better. So what's your rule change then, Si?
I think mine's more general. It's clarity. I think for me, I found this as a fan for the last sort of 20, 30 years of football, the waters have got muddier and the rules have got greyer, like what is a handball, what isn't, what's offside, what's not. The interpretation of them, it just seemed to be, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of you look back with rose-tinted specs, but there was more clarity. Say, look, watching 80s football, you knew when you were offside or when you were onside. And now it's just a bit more vague as to whether there was intent or not with a handball and all that sort of thing. So I think overall they just need to tighten up the rules to make things clearer. But I am at the same time an advocate. I do like the sin bin rule that they brought in, and I'm hoping to bring that in further up because I think that's been a success at our level. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think the sin bin, for us to trial it, I think it's actually been quite a success.
Yeah, they don't use it enough, I don't think, sometimes. I think the refs sometimes maybe forget that they could use that.
Yeah, but when it has been used, I think it's worked. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it needs to be used a bit more, but I have seen it in use a few times, and it's been effective.
Yeah, it's been very good.
Yeah, a lot of the fans don't know about the sin bin. We had when we played Susan Hope of the week. One of the Susan players went off and said, "Oh, he's been sent off." Then somebody said, "No, it's a sin bin." I don't think the referee, I might be wrong, did make it, clear enough that it was a sin bin, because then he came back on again. So I think the sin bin, it's not really, you don't see it much. So when it does happen, it's people left scratching their heads,
They are, because I don't think they use a card, do they? If it was simplified and they maybe had a blue card, I know it's asking the refs to carry another card, but if they had a blue card and put the blue card up, everybody would know.
That is the talk, isn't it, now?
Yeah,
they are talking about the blue card, when they're talking about bringing it. Yeah, strange, that is the colour they're talking about. I was listening to the radio today, and TalkSport was saying, like, if they do bring this in throughout football, then they're talking about a blue card as well as a separate one.
Oh, right. Well, that's a good. Blooming heck, am I thinking the same as them? Oh, dear me.
You are.
That's not brilliant. Well, my rule change, it's time wasting. Everybody does it, and I get into so many arguments with people about it, because all teams do it. Keepers do it. They waste time, don't they? Messing about getting the ball in. And I think as fans, we're missing out. The referee will say, "Oh, but, he's pointing to his watch." But you think, well, that's not the point. You can have as much time on as you want. It's served its purpose because it's broke the game up, and it's disrupted the flow of play and pressure, hasn't it? So I'm thinking, if a keeper is taking too long messing about with the ball, picking it up and taking it from one side of his goal to the other, the referee is well within his rights to say, right, we'll have an indirect free kick on the edge of the box.
Yep.
Or is that too controversial? I don't know.
No. But at one time, I thought they could only do about 4 strides with the ball or something. Or has that changed? I can't remember now.
I don't know, Bob.
The 6-second rule, which has become very fluid now, because they used to stick to it, and now suddenly it's been allowed to get more than 6 seconds. I mean, to be fair, at the Beverley game on Tuesday, quite a few were shouting at the ref a few times that the keeper was having it for like 10, 12 seconds and in his hands and not doing anything with it, and ref were doing nothing about it. So yeah,
but to be fair to Tom Nicholson, he's a very steady keeper. Sorry, Tom, I didn't mean it.
It's a bit of gamesmanship, which if I'm on there, if I'm supporting their team, I'm all for it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But I think if we were, like you say, it's a bit more clearer, maybe, because like you say, that rule of, I don't know how many seconds it is, refs might say, it maybe never even came in, but sometimes when a keeper, the ball's gone out, it's taken them 30 seconds to get the ball back into play. They're taking the time getting the ball. I mean, the boys are throwing the ball on pretty quickly, or fans are throwing the ball on pretty quickly, but it's just taking them forever to get the ball, Mind you, I used to... My son was a goalkeeper, and he used to do that when they were 1-0 down, though. And he wondered why they were shouting at him. So he used to get a bit upset. We used to say, well, you're 1-0 down, you don't want to be wasting time. So that's our rule changes, and so I think they're quite good. They're quite good. So hopefully we all get to a game this Saturday, and if we've got time, if we quickly look at the league as it stands now, we'll go with the Division 1. So you've got Wakefield at the top with 31 games, and is it 67 points, Si?
It is.
Then we've got Parkgate second, 25 games. So like you say, the 6 games behind, they're 65 points. Beverley on 28 games, 65 points as well. Shirebrook 30 games, 63 points, and Womble, or as we like to call them, Wombwell or Womble, 29 games and 63 points. So it's very, very tight. And then you've got Retford, 27 games, 57 points. So it's tight. It's tight, isn't it? So if we look at the bottom, I think the bottom 3 are getting real cut away out. The Yorkshire Amateurs.
I agree.
Yeah,
I can't see that changing.
I can't really, because I think Armthorpe have just got enough to keep up. really.
Armstrong lost Wednesday night, didn't they? 6-1 to Worsborough on Wednesday night.
They did, yeah. They're a bit. I think they've got 24 points, and Yorkshire Amateurs have got 17, and Yorkshire Amateurs have played a game extra. So
depends
I think Armthorpe.
Depends if they've got to play each other. I don't know. That'd be interesting
Definitely. So
I think Armthorpe have got enough.
I think they have, yeah, definitely got enough. But go to the Prem then. The top, we've got Emley. I think it's Emley's to lose, really.
Yeah.
They've played 27, 63 points. Campion have played 29 and 60 points. So they're 3 points behind, but Campion have played 2 more games. And then Thackley are well behind. They've got 28 games, 49 points. Rossington, who've had a brilliant season, 25 games, 46 points. And Albion, 25 games and 45 points. So Garforth, Penistone, and possibly Knaresborough maybe have a chance. I think Garforth and Penistone definitely got a chance and maybe sneaking up there. Knaresborough an outside chance, I think. And then at the bottom, it's getting a bit, isn't it, Bob? It's getting a bit.
But that win at Bottisford has given us a bit of breathing space. But then losing on Tuesday night didn't help our goal difference.
No, it's not, has it? But Maltby 26 games, 17 points, and Goole AFC 26 games, 21 points. So
we play Maltby. We play Maltby a week on Saturday, Goole. So that'll be a big match for both teams.
Oh, as I would say, that's a 6-pointer. Isn't it, that one? Yeah, definitely a 6-pointer. But we're keeping an eye on that one for you, Bob. You've got us to play. You've got Barton to play yet, Bob, in a rearranged game. So there's 3 points for you.
Probably sometime in the summer where we're going on.
It'll be cancelled, Bob, because the ground will be too hard. So we've got and we've down at the bottom we've got Eccleshill. I think Eccleshill are on the same points as you. So you've got Eccleshill up, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, yes. And we still to play them away yet as well. So that's another big game for us,
Oh, that's another 6-pointer then. So you've got us to play as well. Barton, we've dropped down again but with 22 games, I mean, most teams have played 26, 27. I mean, we're a month and
you're safe. I think you're pretty safe now for that.
I hope so. And we're a month and a half behind everybody else with our pitch. But to be fair to Barton, we've not always had to call our games off. It's been when we've been playing away as well, we've had games called off as well. So I shall never forget going all the way to Pickering for the referee to bounce a ball and say, "Oh, it's unfit to play." And you think, well, you could have told us that about an hour before we set off.
Yeah, well, our match at Pickering was cancelled, but we got to know before we set off, so that was something,
Oh, that's good. I mean, it's not an easy journey up there, is it?
No.
I mean, I should have known better because it was raining, then it was foggy, and then it was raining again. So I should have known better, but you don't learn, do you? So, but anyway. You do, don't you? You always go on a Saturday and think, what's a Saturday without football? It's terrible.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Got to find a game. Anyway,
got to get your non-league fix, haven't you?
Oh, Bob, it's like a drug. It's like a drug, isn't it? And I think if more people come to watch it, we'd have a lot more volunteers and we'd have a lot more fans because
This is why we do this. So hopefully people listen and think, we'll go on to a game. That's why I do the podcast.
Well, absolutely. They might just think we're 3 idiots, though. You never know. I hope not, but we'll hopefully get some games in at the weekend because, as I say, the weather's been really, really bad, hasn't it? So let's hope we all see a game. And I think that about concludes it for tonight, gentlemen. So. We'll hopefully reconvene next week.
Fingers crossed.
Have a good week, guys.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, cheers.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.